For 8 minutes, the United States faced a shock that shattered its sense of safety, not because the nation lacked power, but because it believed distance from conflict was enough protection. And on a calm Sunday morning, that belief collapsed without warning. At Pearl Harbor, sailors were preparing for routine duties, some still asleep, others writing letters or heading to breakfast, while enormous battleships stood still in the harbor like untouchable giants, unaware that aircraft were already approaching across the Pacific with strict timing and precise orders. The pilot leading the first wave had trained for months, memorizing routes, fuel limits, and attack angles, knowing hesitation could destroy the mission. And when his plane crossed the coastline, the peaceful view below contrasted sharply with the destruction about to unfold. The first bombs struck airfields to keep American fighters grounded, turning parked planes into flames within seconds and filling the sky with smoke before many even understood what was happening. Confusion spread rapidly, officers trying to confirm whether it was a drill or an invasion, while anti-aircraft guns slowly came to life. And then the battleships themselves became targets as armor-piercing bombs tore through steel decks and exploded deep inside, igniting fires that trapped crews in corridors of heat and darkness. Oil spilled across the harbor and burned on the water's surface. Rescue attempts began instantly, yet without coordination. And above it all, the pilot adjusted altitude with mechanical discipline, releasing payloads and turning away once objectives were met, leaving behind towering columns of smoke visible from miles. Those minutes proved that strength without readiness can become vulnerability, and the psychological impact traveled across the country faster than the aircraft themselves, reaching homes through urgent radio broadcasts that transformed an ordinary morning into a national turning point. When the explosions stopped, the real transformation began, because the aftermath reshaped the nation far beyond the harbor itself. Recruitment offices filled with volunteers, factories converted civilian production into military machinery, and political hesitation about global involvement disappeared almost overnight as unity replaced debate. Survivors searched burning decks for friends, while medics worked without rest. Families across the country read casualty lists with trembling hands, and military leaders immediately began rewriting defense strategies, strengthening radar systems and communications networks to ensure surprise would never again be so effective. Economically, the surge in wartime production accelerated innovation in engineering, aviation, and communications, laying foundations that influenced civilian life for decades. While culturally, the event became embedded in films, literature, and annual memorial ceremonies that honored sacrifice and resilience rather than destruction alone. The pilot who helped deliver those 8 critical minutes eventually became less a single figure and more a symbol of how speed and precision can temporarily cripple even a powerful opponent. Yet history showed that such a strike can also awaken immense determination and long-term resolve. Pearl Harbor transformed from a scene of devastation into a place of remembrance visited by generations seeking to understand the cost of complacency and the strength of recovery. And the enduring lesson remained clear: security is never permanent, preparedness must be continuous, and sometimes a handful of irreversible minutes can redirect the course of a nation for the rest of a century.